Your daughters, your 5-year-old daughters are asking, can we hear Pound Town? I'm playing them Princess Tiana ballet music. And they are asking me, can we hear Pound?
Welcome back to Tony Television. If you have not subscribed or left a comment, be sure to do so right now. Now, I want to talk about this one because watching this video almost made me shed a tear, okay? Almost. I have 2 daughters, so it definitely hit in my heart. I want to make this clear before I get into this audio. If you want to just see the video itself and you don't want to hear me rambling on about my opinion for about 5 minutes, you can just go ahead and fast forward to the end, because I will put the full entire video at the end of this video when I'm done speaking. Anyways, to put things into context, this is a young lady. I believe she says she's 22 years old. She's also a college student, and she works as a side job as a ballet teacher. Now, she's not certified like working for the school officially. She stated that, but she grew up doing ballet, and she's teaching young girls. And the young girls that she's teaching are in the ages, I believe she said, starting at 5 years old on up to maybe 7 or 8. And she's actually talking about quitting. Okay, she's talking about quitting because she says that these young kids in this generation are out of control. Now, I am going to try to make this short and simple. I'm not going to go long-winded here, but I do want to make a few points. One of the first points I want to make is this. My mother didn't play that shit. I just want to make that real clear, okay? But in the 80s, in the 90s, but the 80s definitely, it was a different type of a time where the parents could, and even the next door neighbor could, put their hands on your ass and check you whenever they wanted to check you. And there was nothing a cop or anyone could do about it, because the first thing they would say is, they came out of my you know what, and you ain't gonna tell me what I could do with them. And I usually saw that fix the problem. But anyway, let's get into this. These young kids, she say, are out of control. They're hitting other kids for no reason at all. They are coming in requesting to hear Sexy Red, Pound Town. I've never even heard it, but I think I've heard of it. Anyway, they're exposed to way too much at too early of an age. And when she says that when she confronts the parents about the kids' activities, the parent usually is cursing her out. Well, if my daughter don't want to effing do it, then you should know my daughter don't. Why the fuck would you tell her to do it, right? Stuff like that. And she even says that they're more concerned with their social media and their hair and their dates than they are their own kids, which I agree. Now, first, I want to say shout out to this young lady for even trying to raise other people's kids, because that's something I never could do, okay? I mean, I've had offices and I couldn't even deal with employees, because there's something like kids. They want to run to the bathroom every 10 minutes. I got to grab the phone, it's an important call, and listen, man, if you don't want to work, I'm not going to try to make you be grown, but grown people understand that you got to work every day, homeboy, and you got to try to be the best at it in order to make the best money that you can possibly make. Anyways, I want to say shout out to this young lady, because she's really trying to push these kids to be better little girls, but unfortunately they're being exposed to the Pound Towns and the Sexy Reds and the WAPs and the Cardi B's and the wet ass pussies, at home with their parents, obviously. And there's nothing she really can do at that point if the parent is also backing the actions of the child when they're wrong. Then she's like, look, there's nothing I can do. I tell the parents, they're cussing me out. I can't put my hands on him. Well, she didn't even mention that, but I'm just thinking of me, right? Can't put your hands on him. You're going to jail. You approach the child. They're going to answer with a childlike mind frame, right? Which is usually, and at that point, what can you do? You know? Now, I'm going to end it off with this. I saw this coming a long time ago. I saw this coming in the late 80s, early 90s, was when it started to go overboard with black men killing each other and getting locked up. And I came from an era where a lot of my friends ended up with 20, 30 years, life without parole. I have one who's doing 70 for shooting the police. It was that era, right? There weren't any cameras or cell phones. It was kind of the end of the cowboy era, so to speak. And I saw it with my own eyes. There was a system of poverty placed out here, and no man, black, white, whatever, does not want to be poor or feel poor or get treated poor or anything in reference to poor. And of course, the system just makes it very hard, and at that time made it extremely hard for black men in particular to get out of that poverty. So a lot of black men, at that time, a lot of black men there was no internet. You had to get on with a team, right? And if you were getting on with corporate, then there was a game you had to play. And it was a game of morality and integrity where you would have to let some of those things go. A lot of black men couldn't do it at that time. They just couldn't let the morality and integrity go. And listen, that's the side I'm on, okay? So as time went on, I started to see a lot of black men getting locked up. Why? Because we were going to the streets, we were going to the drugs, we were going to crime, we were going to robbery, we were going to bank robbery, robbing each other, crime. So being that we were going towards crime like full on, full force, then a lot of us were getting caught and a lot of us were dying, okay? And with that happening, I don't know, common sense kind of told me, usually the man is the stern hand in the household, the strong force. I would never talk to my child's teacher that way unless I know that they did something totally out of line and disrespectful and just out of line with my child to defend my child's safety. But if my child is in the wrong, in no way means am I ever going to think my child is perfect. I'm a human being. I did not come up perfect. My child is a human being. They will not be perfect. Usually I'm going to believe the adult. But women are different, okay? They could be PMSing, and no disrespect to any woman that's listening, but they could be PMSing one day and get approached by a woman who's criticizing in a positive way, and they could react in a negative way because they're feeling some kind of a way. It's an emotional thing. A man usually is supposed to think out of logic, so that way, no matter what is presented to him, he does not react with emotional reaction. So when I saw this going on where black men are running to the streets and we're dying by the tons, we're going to prison by the tons, then you also see a lot of black women, they're not slowing down having babies because niggas is dying or going to prison. They're actually picking up the pace, so they're becoming single mothers at alarming rates. And these are single mothers with boys, and some of these boys come from fathers. A lot of these boys come from fathers that are killers, criminals, and they've done things. They weren't born killers and criminals, but they ended up doing things that made them this way, right? Getting involved with things. So the child has this DNA of a chance that they could become a criminal, right? Not that they're born one either, but they could become one due to genealogy. So now it depends on how much attention the mom is giving this child at that point. I'm talking about a boy in that situation, but let's talk children in general, okay? So being a single mother is very hard, okay? They have to, a single parent, period, right? But I know it's harder on women because men, we don't have to worry about PMSing. We don't have to worry about emotional changes and all these hot flashes and shit. For the most part, if a man is strong and sturdy, he's the same way every day, okay? But they have to go to work. They have to deal with their PMSing. They have to deal with pregnancy. They have to deal with creeps on the street, right? Women, I think we underestimate how much they have to deal with that. And so overall, it's just hard on them to raise a child, right? But under these circumstances, what this particular lady is talking about, she's not talking about that part of it. She's saying the part that the part you don't have control over. She's talking about the part you do have control over. You're at home, the iPad is there, the phone is open, and the child is grabbing it, and the child is listening to what you just finished listening to, which is Pound Town, okay? So now the child is exposed to these lyrics that are something that they should not be exposed to. Let's just say it that way, right? And you're okay with it. And then that becomes the problem because the child has an impressionable mind, and when they hear things, they're not wise enough, old enough like you to be able to differentiate what is true, what is false, what is fantasy, what is reality. That's why some things you're not supposed to allow them to be exposed to until they're a certain age, so that way if they make a decision based on that topic or subject matter, they can make a sound decision based out of knowledge, so that way they can come to the table with great judgment when it's time to hit the fork in the road. And I know those were a lot of words, but listen to it again and you'll get it, okay? So with the men not in the household, and let's make this clear, I don't want to blame this all on the system, because a lot of other men have chosen to just leave their families, okay? And for whatever reason, who knows, because we can go into that, where some of them, they get nagged so much by the woman where they're like, look, bitch, you're gonna kill me from stress, so I gotta go. So that way at least I don't die from stress, right? And I understand those situations. But either way, when you create a family, it is wrong to leave the family. You knew what you were getting into prior to, so you should be able to commit and stick it through. Unfortunately, a lot of these situations in America are going on where these kids are being raised by single mothers. These mothers are under stressed. They are going through emotional, they're going through financial, a lot. And they don't have the time to mold the child in such a way as the child should go. My conclusion to this is this. I agree with everything this girl said. My heart aches for her, and I couldn't do it, me personally. I come from an era where I will put my hands on your child. I don't care how big you are. I don't care what kind of baby daddy you got. I don't care, okay? I will put my hands on your child, but I will warn you, the child first, and then I will warn you, hey, could you get your disrespectful child away from me? Because if they say something a little out of line, I'm gonna tap that hiney, and I don't give a damn how you feel about it. So for the people out there, so I managed to stay away from, and I got that from my mama. Let me make that clear, because my mother she just didn't play though. You could not ever go on anyone's house, organization, or anything, and the word get back to her that you was out of line. Woo! I mean, listen. Back then it was belts and extension cords and anything they could get their hands on, to be honest with you. She threw irons at me, you know what I'm saying? You had to be fast on your feet back then. You really had to be, and the police was not gonna do nothing about none of that, okay? None of that mattered to them. And maybe later I'll go into a deeper video where I feel that there's a system in play where they took the rights from certain people so that this could happen this way. But that's all conspiracy, right? But neither here nor there. I like to thank you if you stayed this far from listening to what I have to say in regards to this matter. I hope that you're not one of those parents that allow your kids to do whatever the hell they want to do. And if you are, I hope that that's something that you try to fix. And thank you once again. Subscribe to the channel, like, comment, do anything, whether it's wrong, right, feeling, however you feel. I don't, go ahead and do your thing. Freedom of speech. I'm not going to judge you at all. And I won't erase anything. Anyways, like I said in the beginning of the video, go ahead. If you want to stay, here's the raw video. I'm gone.
I'm calling out all the parents. If you're a parent and your child is in pre-K to elementary school to high school, I'm calling you out. The children today, I have never experienced, and I'm 22. Having to teach and work with you guys as children has been the most traumatic experience of my life. I teach 5-year-olds ballet. 5-year-old girls ballet. I have a class of 10 students. They don't respect any authority. You ask them, can you stand in your designated spot? They're telling you no and shut up. They're throwing things at each other. They're throwing things at other people, other classmates. You say, can everybody sit in their spot? I don't want to. I'm not doing that. You don't get to tell me what to do. You're not my mom. You confront the parent. The parent tries to argue with you and fuss at you because you tried to reprimand and redirect their kid. I told a young little girl, please sit in your spot. You're not my mom. You don't tell me what to do. Okay. When her mom came to pick her up, I said, hey, your daughter's having a hard time following instructions. And 7 times today I've had to redirect her to just sit in her spot. Well, clearly she didn't want to sit, and mind you, this is a mom. Clearly she didn't want to fucking sit right there. So, I mean, if she's telling you she don't want to do something, why keep asking her to do it? You know she's not going to do it. What world do we live in? Like, what in you guys' brain as a parent says, my kid not following any directions is a great thing. It's not that serious, and y'all don't have a right to tell her what to do. It's sad. It's sad. It's really, really sad. And another thing that's heart-wrenching is horrifying. It is horrifying. Your 5-year-old daughters are asking to listen to Pound Town and Ski Yee. Your daughters, your 5-year-old daughters are asking, can we hear Pound Town? I'm playing them Princess Tiana ballet music. And they are asking me, can we hear Pound? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And I'm so scared for these little girls today because this is the most insane agenda push I have ever seen in my life. We do freeze dance. You guys' daughters are twerking at 5. Where's the parenting? Where's the boundaries? Where's the help? Y'all are not helping your kids. You're hurting them. You guys are hurting them. I come every day dressed, ready to go, and I'm in school too. I'm in college. I mean, I put bows in my hair. I'm wearing leotards. I'm trying to get them interested in like proper things for their age, and you guys are exposing your kids to this raunchy secular music. Why is you guys' 5-year-old's daughter singing Pound Town? And it's just really, 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 it's upsetting. And I feel so bad. And I've watched different techniques, soft skills, soft parenting, gentle parenting. I'm patient. I don't yell. I'll say, hey, let's regroup. If you guys need 5 minutes, let's do some breathing. Your kids are telling me to shut up. You guys' kids are saying, I don't want to do that. I'm not doing that. You're not my mom. They're putting they're hitting each other and hitting other kids. You address the parent. The parents are telling you, you don't tell my daughter what to do. It's not that bad. Well, at least she was in the class. At least. It's all these excuses. Y'all come in and you're more worried about what's going on your Instagram and TikTok feed versus being a parent. Be a fucking parent. You guys are horrible fucking parents. Like, I'm sorry to say it, but this generation of some of the mom, not all, but majority that I've dealt with kids that are between the ages of 5 and 4 and 3, you guys don't parent your children at all. They have no basic comprehension skills. They can't sit still. No attention span. They're hitting people. They can't talk. They can't communicate. They don't even know how to say, like, I want to go to the bathroom. If you ask them a question, they're rude, nasty, horrible attitudes at 5. And they want to hear Pound Town. What are you guys doing with your kids? What are you guys literally doing with your kids? Because I have never in my life experienced something so horrible. I literally don't even want to teach ballet to you guys' kids anymore because they are so hard to work and deal with. And I literally see why the teachers are quitting and your kids are getting expelled and kicked out, because it's no way, it is literally no way that this is happening and you guys don't see any issue with it. I tell you, your kid hit someone and you're saying, well, what the fuck did the little bitch do to my daughter to make her want to hit? Nothing. Literally nothing. Your daughter just decides she wants to put her hands on people and you don't correct her. You're yelling at me, asking me, why does she feel like she wants to hit? What parenting is happening? You guys are worried about seafood boils and dates and fucking like partying and being a hot mom. You guys are shitty moms and it needs a change. Stop listening to Sexy Red around your children. Talk to your kid, interact with them, teach them, listen to them. Teach them to respect authority. Don't say you don't have to listen to anyone unless they're me. Your kids are so horrible and hard to deal with, and I'm blaming the parents because they have horrible guidance. And it needs to be a change. And I'm asking, can somebody's mom stitch me and say like what the holdup is? What is the issue? Why are you listening to raunchy music around your kids? Why is it that you have to deal with certain people and be rude about it? Why can nobody correct your kid or help them get on a better track? And why do you guys approve and applaud bad behavior? Why? Because I'm telling you, all the teachers that are good and have genuine interest in building your kid, I want to help them. I want to help these little girls realize that they are precious, that they have purpose, that they're beautiful, that they're smart and intelligent, and that they can be somebody. I don't want to see little 5-year-olds trying to twerk to Pound Town. And you guys think that it's cute. And I'm coming on here because it needs to be a change. So please tell me, as an educator, a teacher, and I'm just a ballet teacher. I'm not a regular trained institutional teacher. I'm teaching 5-year-olds ballet, and these are all the problems starting now. and it's no change happening. So what needs to be done and happen to fix this issue? Please, somebody tell me, somebody make it make sense. Because I'm telling you, I'm this close to quitting and saying I'd never want to work with people's kids again, because this has been the most horrible experience. I've never dealt with an experience like this. Listening to raunchy music around your kids needs to stop. Applauding bad behavior needs to stop. Not giving your kid your attention but throwing an iPad at them or a tablet because you don't want to parent needs to stop. I'm coming on here and I'm begging you guys, I'm asking you to really please make a change. Make a change. Your kids' lives are depending on it for y'all to make a change. Please make a change.